Three brothers inherited exactly $1 million each from their father. 10 years later, one had become worth more than $20 million. The second still had roughly the same amount he inherited, and the third had almost nothing left. Same family, same education, same starting point. So what happened? The answer wasn't intelligence, it wasn't luck, and it certainly wasn't the stock market. It was something much simpler. They depended on completely different sources of income. Most people grow up believing that one paycheck is enough. Go to school, find a good job, work hard, get promoted, save what you can, retire someday. It sounds reasonable until one unexpected event changes everything. A recession, a layoff, a health problem, or a company deciding it no longer needs you. The moment your only source of income disappears, your financial life can collapse with it. That's the hidden risk millions of people never think about until it's too late. Now, think about the wealthiest people you know. Whether it's entrepreneurs, investors, or business owners, very few of them rely on just one source of income. They build multiple streams that support each other. If one slows down, the others continue flowing. Imagine trying to cross a river using only one narrow bridge. If that bridge collapses, you're stranded. But if there are 7 bridges leading to the same destination, losing one doesn't stop the journey. Wealth works the same way. Let's go back to those 3 brothers. The oldest believed having $1 million meant he was financially secure. He bought a luxury house, expensive cars, and upgraded every part of his lifestyle. The money looked impressive, but almost none of it produced more money. Every purchase made him feel richer, while quietly making him poorer. Within a few years, his fortune was shrinking faster than he ever imagined. The second brother was more careful. He kept most of the money in the bank. He believed protecting his wealth was the safest decision. Years passed. Inflation slowly reduced the purchasing power of his money. Technically, he still had nearly $1 million, but in reality, that money could buy much less than it could a decade earlier. He didn't lose because he spent too much. He lost because his money wasn't working. Then there was the youngest brother. Instead of asking, "What can $1 million buy?" he asked a completely different question. How can this money create more income? That single question changed everything. Instead of chasing expensive possessions, he began acquiring assets. Some generated cash every month. Others grew in value over time. Little by little, his money stopped being something he owned and became something that worked for him every single day. This is where most people misunderstand wealth. They measure success by how much someone earns every year. Millionaires measure success differently. They ask one question above all others. If I stopped working tomorrow, how many of my income streams would continue without me? That question separates people who own a job from people who own financial systems. But here's the surprising part. You don't need millions of dollars to begin building multiple income streams. In fact, almost every millionaire started with just one. The difference is that they never stopped at one. They used each stream to build the next, creating a financial system that became stronger every year. That's why the richest people don't simply earn more money. They create more ways for money to reach them. So what are these 7 income streams? Which ones can an ordinary person actually build, even without being wealthy? And why do most people spend their entire lives depending on only one? The first income stream is the foundation of everything else, but almost everyone makes the same mistake with it. Once you understand why, you'll never look at your paycheck the same way again. Most people believe their salary is their income. Millionaires see it differently. To them, a salary is simply the first brick in a much larger financial structure. If you only have one stream of income, you're always one unexpected event away from financial stress. That's why wealthy people don't ask, "How can I earn more?" They ask, "How can I create another stream?" The first income stream is earned income. This is the money you receive from your job, your profession, or the time you exchange for work. It's where almost everyone begins. There's nothing wrong with earning a salary. In fact, every other income stream usually starts here. The mistake isn't having a job. The mistake is believing your job is enough. Your paycheck should never be the destination. It should be the fuel that builds everything else. The second income stream is business income. Instead of selling your time, you begin building a system that creates value for other people.
A business can generate income even when you're not personally doing every task. That's why business owners often have greater financial potential than employees. They're no longer limited by the number of hours in a day. They own a machine designed to produce income. The third income stream is investment income. This is where your money finally starts working harder than you do. Stocks, index funds, ETFs, bonds, and other investments can generate returns without requiring your daily attention. Think back to the previous video. We talked about investing your first $100. That wasn't about becoming rich overnight. It was about teaching your money to produce more money.
This is the stream that quietly grows while you're focused on living your life. The fourth income stream is real estate income. A carefully chosen property can generate monthly cash flow while also increasing in value over time. That's why so many wealthy families include real estate in their long-term strategy. They understand that people will always need places to live, work, and do business. The property becomes more than a building. It becomes another employee working 24 hours a day. Now, here's something interesting. Notice that the first stream depends almost entirely on you. But each new stream depends a little less on your time and a little more on your assets. That's not an accident. Financial freedom isn't about working forever. It's about gradually replacing active income with income that continues even when you stop working.
Every new stream reduces your dependence on the previous one. Unfortunately, most people do the opposite. As their salary increases, so do their expenses. A bigger paycheck leads to a bigger house, a more expensive car, and more monthly payments. Instead of buying assets that generate income, they buy liabilities that consume it. They appear wealthier from the outside, but financially they're running faster just to stay in the same place. The youngest brother understood something his older brothers never did. Every time a new income stream produced extra cash, he didn't rush to upgrade his lifestyle. He used that money to build the next stream. His investments funded new opportunities. Those opportunities generated even more income.
Over time, his financial system became stronger, not because he worked harder than everyone else, but because every income stream supported the next one. That's how real wealth compounds. But 4 income streams still aren't enough to explain how the wealthiest people continue growing richer year after year. There are 3 more streams that most people completely overlook. Ironically, one of them requires almost no money to start, yet it has created countless millionaires around the world. Once you understand the final 3, you'll begin seeing opportunities that most people walk past every single day.
The 5th income stream is capital gains. This is money earned when an asset becomes more valuable over time. Imagine buying shares in a great company, investing in real estate, or owning a business that steadily grows in value. You didn't earn that money by working extra hours. You earned it because you owned something that became more valuable. Wealthy people understand that ownership often creates more wealth than labor ever can. The 6th income stream is interest income. This is one of the oldest ways money has generated more money. Whether it's through bonds, high-yield savings accounts, or other interest-bearing investments, your capital earns a return simply because it's being put to work. No, interest alone probably won't make you a millionaire overnight. But combined with disciplined investing and enough time, it becomes another steady stream strengthening your financial foundation. The 7th and final income stream is royalties and intellectual property. This is where something you create continues paying you long after you finish creating it. A book, a song, a software application, a successful online course, digital products, or even a YouTube channel. You create the value once, but it has the potential to generate income again and again. That's why some people continue earning money while they sleep. They no longer sell only their time. They sell assets that can be used by thousands or even millions of people. Now look at the complete picture. Most people spend their entire lives depending on only one income stream, their salary. Millionaires don't necessarily start with 7, they simply refuse to stop with 1. Every new stream reduces their financial risk while increasing their financial freedom. That's why losing one source of income becomes an inconvenience instead of a disaster. Let's go back to the 3 brothers one last time. The oldest owned expensive things. The second owned idle money. But the youngest owned income-producing assets. Years later, the luxury cars had depreciated. Inflation had quietly reduced the value of the cash sitting in the bank. But the assets continued producing income, growing in value, and creating new opportunities. The biggest difference wasn't how much money they inherited, it was what they chose to own. Here's the truth most people never hear. You don't need 7 income streams today. You need a plan to build them over time. Trying to create all of them at once usually leads to failure. But building one, then using it to create the next, that's exactly how many wealthy people did it. Financial freedom isn't built through one giant decision. It's built through dozens of small decisions repeated consistently over many years. So where should you begin? Start by protecting and growing your earned income. Increase your skills, live below your means, invest consistently. Then allow your investments to become the foundation for your next income stream. Over time, focus on acquiring assets instead of liabilities. Every asset you own becomes another step toward a future where your money works as hard as you do. One day, you'll wake up and realize something has changed. You no longer depend on a single paycheck. Your investments are generating returns. Your assets are producing income. Your financial system is working quietly in the background. That's the moment you stop chasing money, because you've built a system that allows money to start chasing you. If this video changed the way you think about wealth, subscribe to WealthVeil and join thousands of people learning how to build lasting financial freedom through smart decisions, not lucky guesses.
And before you leave, answer one question in the comments. Which of the 7 income streams do you already have? And which one will you build next? I read every comment, and your answer might inspire someone else to take their first step. And don't stop here. Watch the next video, The Psychology of Money, Why Smart People Stay Broke. Because understanding how money works is only half the battle. Understanding how your mind works with money is what separates people who earn wealth from those who keep it.